I'm gonna address the rumor Risa Tisa ex-wife.
All right, so by now everybody heard the story about Ressa, Tessa, Legion. I ain't gonna give his own name because I'm sure y'all already know it. So when Ressa Tessa like, who the F did I marry? And she started telling these different stories on what Legion did to her, how he lied to her about money, jobs, everything. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to go catch up first because the video might be over your head. But anyway, Legion done did an interview where in my eyes he lied again. But it's also some holes in her story. Like it's some things she should not be saying. It's some things that she knew she was getting into, which she did take accountability, but at the same time, in my opinion, she really was just looking for somebody to take care of her, and she thought he was it. And on the other end, he was looking for something else around the same thing. That's what I think. But if he was paying bills, I don't understand why she was didn't work it out. If she really wanted to get married, she thought this is the man she should marry. That's just my opinion. I understand the lies and stuff. That's more like he lied. I get that's the reason, but I think it's a little bit deeper. Some of the holes and story on both sides. Anyway, Lisa came and did an interview. You can watch the full interview on YouTube, which it should be here in the link. But he basically said he had all this stuff for her. He was trying to work with her and help her out, but she wouldn't let him. At the same time, she came in and cleared some parts up when she talked to his family. But y'all watch this video and tell me what y'all think in the comments down below.
Who the fuck did I marry? New update. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024. Earlier today, Legion's older brother, Chris, reached out to my friend, Tracy Tripp, an attorney here in Metro Atlanta. He called her firm to ask how he can get in contact with me. Tracy, being the friend that she is, basically had the attitude of, I don't know you. You're going to have to verify. Remember, trust, but verify. Chris did exactly that. On the phone, he verified, because I was on speakerphone when she called me, that he was in fact the older brother. I felt comfortable. I called him from my personal phone. I called him at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He and I spoke, and there were two things that he asked for me to clear up. Here it is. Number one, Legion's mother passed away first. His father passed away a few years later. It was at the father's funeral that Legion brought his ex-wife, and apparently there was an altercation of some kind between Legion and his older brother. They have not seen each other since the father's funeral. The information that I initially gave in my 50-part series was that they have not seen each other since the mother's funeral. So I want to clarify, they have not seen each other since the father's funeral. Secondly, Chris wanted me to also let you all know that their parents, though they are passed away, the parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. At one point, they were taking him to different therapists and psychologists. He's been diagnosed as a kid with both bipolar and schizophrenia. I did not know this. Chris informed me today, Monday, February 26th, during that phone call, that their father came out of retirement to help pay for the medications. And as Legion got older, he refused to take them. Did not know that. I say all this to say that Chris gave me permission to go ahead and relay this message to everyone to clear up some things that were said in the 50-part series. He also had a message for me. He said, we support you. The family is not mad at you. We've known how he is for years. You can expose that motherfucker. So thank you, Chris. I told him I would make this video to clarify exactly what he said. And he told me that if you or any friends know the family personally up in Philly, Chris has a message for you. The captain is loose. Apparently you all should know what that means if you know the family. I say all this to say again, I take responsibility and be accountable for the series that I put out, that 50-part series. So if I said something that was incorrect, I have no issue making sure that I correct it as best I can.
Um, she came to the studio apartment a couple times. I've been to her house a couple of times. Now,
friends of mine I work with, we talked about her and they advised me, hey, this Atlanta, be careful because you're making this money, you're doing your thing, you don't want to end up just in a situation where you end up paying for stuff and doing stuff. I was raised where, man, you try to take care of your woman best you can do. I mean, I'm a car guy. I love cars. So for me, if she had a problem with her car, I help her. And over the coming weeks, she had a lot of problems with the Nissan Rogue she was driving. So I help out. I wasn't gonna have her. I even drove her car to work a couple of days just to get some stuff fixed on it because I know guys that work on cars and I know a lot. So just to get that situation in a better position, other side of Atlanta. So for me, going to the house, this was 5 minutes versus driving an hour and 10 minutes with traffic to my house.
So you already had a house?
Yeah.
So that wasn't mentioned in the story. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, she said that all you had was the studio apartment. So you had a house and a studio apartment.
Yep, stay at a studio apartment through the week because traffic in Atlanta is horrible and trying to get home and get back and wearing out. I'm wearing myself out in the afternoon getting off work. And I'm in the car for 2 hours. Whereas studio apartment, 15 minutes. She lived in Riverdale. I actually lived in Douglasville. But the job was in what is that? Like Duluth area. So if you look on the map, Duluth and Douglasville is far, and Clayton County, Riverdale is farther. So it was easier for me to get this studio apartment, be there during the week because I would be at work sometimes 8 o'clock, and then having to drive home, get up, make that drive, this studio apartment. And a couple people that work with me, we all did the same thing. Right now, her credit is here. Mine is here. Like I said earlier, I got to get her here. So when we go into this house, because if I go into the house and I'm buying it myself, can you really say it's your house? You got to help me here.
You said she had access to the account. She said the only thing that she saw was screenshots of like the account.
Yeah, access to the 2 accounts I let her know about. I had 5 altogether, but she had access to them. She had access to those 2 accounts because I bled money into those accounts, paycheck, and then I bled money in if needed be. She was able to go to the bank, buy what she wanted when she wanted to buy it. A lot of people, and I was asked not to because this has brought a negative light on the school. People who go there brought negative light on people I work with. Now, my brother, his job, my other brother, his job, my family, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, children, everybody. So
what about the arena league? Do you have like a picture or something from there that
I told you before when I talked to the owner of the team, he asked me, hey, because you got fans returning tickets because of this stuff with Teresa.